Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, my name is Josh, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the Breeze ESA Visa credit card. So I'll be going over the main features of this card, its pros as well as its drawbacks. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of whether or not this credit card is a good fit for you. But before we go ahead and dive into the main features of this card, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Plus, if you would like to receive up to $10,000 in free stocks or $10,000 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Moomoo. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then deposit at least $100. At that point, Moomoo will be sending you at least 7 free stocks worth all the way up to $10,000. Okay, so diving right into the main features of the Breeze ESA Visa credit card. First off, we're going to be talking about points and how you can earn them with this card. So with this card, you can earn up to 10 points per dollar spent on nicer bundles, nicest bundles, and trip add-ons. That's going to be 5 points per dollar spent when you buy, plus an additional 5 points per dollar spent when you fly. Then you can earn up to 4 points per dollar spent on nice bundles. That's going to be 2 points when you buy, plus 2 points when you fly. Then you can earn up to 2 Breeze points on eligible grocery store and restaurant purchases, including Breeze Airway in-flight food and beverages as well. Then you can earn up to 2 Breeze points on no flex fares. That's going to be 1 point per dollar spent when you buy, and then 1 point per dollar spent when you fly. And then on all other transactions, you will be earning 1 Breeze point per dollar spent. So now that we went over the points, we're going to be talking about the spend bonus. So with this card, there's also going to be a spend bonus as well. So as long as you're able to spend at least $2,000 within the first 90 days of having this credit card, you will be receiving a spend bonus of 50,000 Breeze points. That's going to be $500 in value that you can use towards Breeze Airway flights. Now on top of that, this card also comes with some other pretty sweet benefits as well. So just for instance, you do have an opportunity to earn 7,500 anniversary bonus Breeze points every single year after your account anniversary with eligible purchases. But in order to achieve this, you must have spent at least $10,000 that year, which for some people it might be easy, for some people that might be more difficult. Just really depends on your own personal situation. Then on top of that, you're also going to be receiving priority boarding. So primary card members and their companions receive Group 1 priority boarding when traveling on flights operated by Breeze Airways. Then in addition to that, there's also going to be unlimited points earning. So it doesn't matter whether you spend $100 per year or $1 million per year. These points are all unlimited. They are not going to be capped out at any dollar amount. Then on top of that, you're also going to be receiving complimentary Wi-Fi on Breeze Airways. So that's going to be an $8 value each way or $16 round trip. That's a pretty good benefit there. And then finally, your Breeze points are never going to expire, so perhaps you have them stacked up after a year or two. You don't have to feel like you're rushed to use them because they are not going to expire. With some of the other credit cards out there on the market, unfortunately, if you don't use them after a certain period of time, they will expire. But with these points, they will never expire, so you don't have to worry about rushing to use them. So now that we went over the main features of this card at this point in time, we are going to go ahead and dive into the APR and fees, because of course this is also super important as well. So starting out, your purchase APR is going to be anywhere between 21.24 to 29.99% based on your credit worthiness. Then as far as balance transfers go, they are currently offering a 0% introductory APR on your balance transfers for the first 12 months, as long as you perform them and it's posted to your account within the first 45 days. However, if it's after the first 45 days, then at that point, your APR is going to be anywhere between 21.24 to 29.99%. Now, this could be particularly helpful because right now, perhaps you have another credit card out there where you're paying a lot of interest on a month-to-month basis. You might even be paying hundreds of dollars of interest on every single statement that you receive. So it might make sense in your case to transfer the balance from that credit card over to this credit card. And once again, as long as you're able to do it within the first 45 days, you are going to have a 0% interest on that balance for the first 12 months. And of course, you will want to pay it off before the 12 months end, because after the first 12 months, your APR, once again, it's going to shoot right back up to, once again, anywhere between 21.24 to 29.99%. Then as far as cash advances go, on this channel, we usually recommend to stay far away from cash advances. This, of course, should not be considered financial advice, just my own personal reasons. Usually with them, you have a very high interest rate, plus you have to pay a lot of fees as well. But if you do decide to take out a cash advance, just know that your APR on them is going to be a whopping 29.99%. Plus, you will have to pay some fees as well, which we are going to dive into right now. So as far as the fees go on your cash advance, the cash advance fees are either going to be $10 or 5% of the amount of each cash advance, whichever happens to be greater. Then as far as balance transfers go, with this card, there's also going to be a fee for balance transfers. Yes, even though you might have a 0% APR on them for the first 12 months, just note there's still going to be a fee if you carry out a balance transfer. That fee is either going to be $5 or 5% of the amount of each balance transfer, whichever happens to be greater. Now with this card, it's definitely one that you can take outside the country with you if you do happen to travel abroad, and you won't be charged any extra fees by Breeze Airways. This credit card issued by Barclays, there's going to be a 0% fee on foreign transaction fees. This is a really great benefit because some of the other credit cards out there on the market currently charge a foreign transaction fee of 3%, so that's pretty good with that. And then as far as late or return payments go, you'll definitely want to make sure that you are paying on time and that you don't have any return payments, because if you do, there is going to be a fee on those of up to $40. Now, if you happen to pay late for the first time, maybe even the second time, you could always try calling into Barclays to see if they will waive that fee. However, I definitely wouldn't even run that risk. Maybe you should set up auto pay, mark your calendars, do whatever you have to do. Make sure that you are paying on time. That way you're not even faced with risking that $40 fee for paying late. And then finally, there's also going to be an annual fee with this credit card. The annual fee with this credit card is going to be $89. That's going to be every single year. So you'll have to sit around every single year and analyze whether or not this card is worth keeping for paying $89 for it. So now that we went over the main features of this card as well as the APR and fees, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and dive into what I would consider to be the biggest pros and drawbacks of this credit card. So we're going to start out with the pros. The first pro is the fact that you can earn the 50,000 bonus points. That's going to be a $500 value as long as you're able to spend at least $2,000 within the first 90 days of having this credit card. For some people, that might be easy to do. For some people, that might be a little bit more difficult, but that's definitely a pro about this credit card. Then with this card, you're also going to be receiving access to priority boarding, so you're going to be able to get on your flight that much faster. You're also going to be receiving complimentary Wi-Fi on your flight. That's going to be an $8 value each way, or $16 round trip. And then finally, you're also going to be receiving the 0% introductory APR on the balance transfer. So if that makes sense for you, obviously it's going to be a pretty good benefit as well. So those are the good things about this credit card. As far as the drawbacks go, the first one is the fact that you do have to pay that annual fee of $89 to renew this card every single year, and starting on the first year, you are going to have to pay $89 for it. So you're going to have to sit around and analyze, like, hey, am I getting enough benefits with this card to make paying $89 for it worth it? Am I getting at least $89 in value, and perhaps really even more than $89 to make it worth paying that much for it? Also, with this card, you're going to be restricted to using it only on Breeze Airway flights. So that's obviously a pretty big drawback as well. Then you're also not going to be receiving any free check bags with this card. With some of the other travel credit cards out there on the market, you'll receive like an option of like at least one or perhaps even two free check bags with this credit card. Unfortunately, that's not one of the benefits that comes with it. And then finally, if you notice, Breeze Airways, it's an airline I really hadn't heard that much of. And if you look at their destinations, it's pretty limited of where it actually flies. So obviously that could be a drawback as well. Maybe it's not maybe it doesn't fly to one of the destinations that you want to go to. That would be a drawback in your case as well. But just to sum things up, all in all, if you typically fly on Breeze Airways, this card is going to be probably worth it for you, at least for the first year. As far as the second year moving forward, it's really going to be questionable at that point in time. But for those of you that never fly Breeze Airways, or perhaps it doesn't fly to a destination that you want to fly to, then in your case, it's probably not going to be all that worth it for you. But that's all we have for today's review. I certainly hope you enjoyed and found value out of it. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate it if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.